All right, John Philip McCarter, come forward. And counsel, you're on this side.
Never been to this court before, Your Honor, so I'm just trying.
That's no problem. You know, attorneys used to appear on this side, but the deputies said for security reasons, attorneys now needed to be on this side.
Understood.
And I always tell people, I stay in my lane. I'm not in charge of security. So I didn't even ask why that change need to be made. Like,
Well, I'm a little guy, so I like security.
okay. All right, who's the prosecutor on John McCarter? All right, so in this case, is there any blood discovery or any? All right,
There was a blood test.
all right, so are you going to ask for blood discovery?
I've already gotten all of the discovery in the case.
Okay. All right, I need an acknowledgement of discovery done before we leave here today. Was an offer tendered?
Yes, sir.
All right, state you may be excused. How old are you, sir?
I'm 43.
All right. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
if you'll recall this in 2 weeks for a plea deadline date, are you out of town or in town?
No, I'm in town, Your Honor.
All right.
February 10th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back on February 10th. On February 10th, if you are unable to reach an agreement, your next court date is going to be a trial setting. All right. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat, and Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And once you sign the reset form and the acknowledgement of discovery, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I've got a federal case this morning. Just wonder, I'm conferring with them. We've got all our discovery. I don't know of any issues.
I think, who's your client?
Robeson,
He was taken into custody. I think that's an issue.
say again,
He was taken into custody.
for what reason?
I have no idea. It just shows on the docket that he's listed as a fugitive.
A fugitive?
Yes, so you may want to take care of that.
Let's see if we can do something.
Yeah. Take care of that.
For what reason?
I have no idea.
Just wonder, I'm conferring with them. We've got all our discovery.
Yes.
I've got a federal case this morning. Just wonder, I'm conferring with them. We've got all our discovery. I don't know of any issues.
I think, who's your client?
Robeson,
He was taken into custody. I think that's an issue.
say again,
He was taken into custody.
for what reason?
I have no idea. It just shows on the docket that he's listed as a fugitive.
A fugitive?
Yes, so you may want to take care of that.
Let's see if we can do something.
Yeah.
So this was your warrant?
Well, I don't know. Is there all right, you'll have to have them pull the violation report.
I'm pretty all right now, Judge.
All right.
Okay,
So then you'll be able to see what's going on.
all right.
That's it?
Yes.
If we do a plea today, can he be released to
Oh,
return?
sure.
Summertime out there right
And then
now.
we'll do a
Yeah, it'll be in the
PSI.
summer.
Do we need a
July?
PSI? Are they in agreement to him?
I'm trying to,
All right, so if they're in agreement to his receiving probation and I accept the plea, we don't need a
Before you
PSI.
yeah, there's probation on the table to question his numbers.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you. All right, John Harold Robinson. Court is calling 2024 CR 006935, State of Texas versus John Roberson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
George Sharman on behalf of Mr. Robeson.
And are you Mr. Roberson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Robinson, okay, is it Robinson or Robeson?
Robinson.
Robison?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because there's a misspelling on this, but all right.
I've heard it every way, so it's okay.
Thank you. Did you sign the document entitled Application for Community Supervision?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review that with your attorney and understand it?
Yes, Your
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so attorneys, we're gonna go off the record. The whole trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal, don't check any boxes. That's my call on whether or not you have a right to appeal. Does everyone understand?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, we're back on the record. Defense, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, okay. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? All right, you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Sure.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision, and there's to be ignition interlock for half the term of probation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
Yes.
What motions?
It was a motion to quash the indictment based upon an invalid prior, and you ruled against us after the hearing.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution. They're asking for 1 year Texas driver's license suspension and 10-day jail sanction. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. All right, with regards to the judgments that are in the stipulations, you're stipulating that you are the person who is listed in the judgment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Say again.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, currently he's in handcuffs and I guess this is for a bond violation. But should the court grant him probation, I presume he would be released today.
All right, so with regards to the length of probation, why should I give him 4 years?
Judge, it's a 2/3, so that was the reason that we came to that agreement. I understand the court's concern based on the stability of 2 evidence. However, I believe that the underlying term is sufficient to, he does not comply with terms of probation.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
A project manager for construction.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
So what do you do in your spare time?
I work and then work on the house right now. Then I go and see my mother.
Okay. All right, they're asking for 10 days in the Bexar County Jail. You can either do 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, which would start today, or either you can do GPS, and that GPS would be for 20 days. And you would only be allowed to work. That's it. If you want to add to that, that you want to be allowed to see your mother, then your GPS is going to be for 45 days.
Okay, then I'll do 20 days. And my work is different areas of Austin, so it's kind of all over. Is that okay?
Yes.
But he lives in Hayes County?
I live in Hayes.
All right. He lives in Hayes County. All right. Are you asking to transfer?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so he's gonna be doing it, counsel.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, your attorney can answer for you, but your attorney is not the one who's gonna be doing probation. You are. So do you want to stay in Bexar County or you want your probation transferred to Hayes County?
Stay in, so I'll go to Hayes County, please.
Okay. So there's gonna be a partial GPS. for employment only for 20 days in lieu of the Bear County Jail. And that's due to the overcrowding at the jail and also different health concerns at the jail. There's going to be a $2,000 fine that'll be probated, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Transfer to Hayes County. TAP evaluation. Out of custody. Follow all recommendations. There's going to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. DWI intervention, Victim Impact Live, and DWI education. There's to be regular random UAs. Probation, is there any, I'm sorry, and 200 hours of community service restitution. If you would like, you can buy those hours at $7.25 per hour. Probation, is there anything else?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
What's a TAP evaluation?
That's to see what type of drug dependency you may have. All right, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and I'll ask that the warrant be recalled.
Also, one thing, I apologize, ma'am. So the outpatient that I'm currently doing for pretrial, is that still continuing?
You'll need to speak with probation because they're going to have you do a TAP evaluation and TAP will let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Because all of your conditions were pretrial conditions. These are your current conditions. All right, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, because this is a felon, yes? Six, I wrote it in my notes, but I didn't say it. So it's 6 years in prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. All right. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, you're one of those people who cannot drink alcohol. And when you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. It doesn't matter if you're in your house. It doesn't matter if you're at a barbecue, whatever, it is not allowed. And if you're around people and you tell them that you're trying to be clean and sober and they're not helpful and they just tell you, just have a drink, those are not your friends. Because what I've learned is you got to change people, places, and things. It's hard to do. But if you don't do that, what's going to end up happening is you may pick up another DWI. You're looking at potentially 6 years in prison if you do on this case, or you may end up driving and killing someone. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the bailiff's gonna release them.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Pretty fair, thank you,
Oh,
Connie.
that's good.
May I approach?
Sure.
Say hello.
Hey.
What's up, Battle Buddy?
What's up, Battle?
Good to see
He's
you.
conferring right
What-
now.
what do you
That's
think?
quickly.
All right, thank you.
Talk about full-time staff. and
Yeah, no, this was supposed to be sent out she was excused till mid-March. Let me see why they haven't done this.
And I think she's here.
Yes, she is. Ms. Malik, if you'll come forward, please. Samantha Malik. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for addressing it appropriately and being on time. Your attorney is out. Your attorney is going to be out till mid-March. So just continue doing what you're doing. All right. If you have any questions about anything, you can always come back to the court and we'll make sure you have contact with your attorney. All right. So you're going to come back on March 17th. Just stand here and they'll give you a reset form. You're welcome. Dylan Jacob Skinner.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let me pull him up. All right, so where are we on discovery? Last time we were here, there was an issue with the flash drive, but I think that's been taken care of.
Well, it hasn't yet. I haven't received it. It was checked today. They're checking with their paralegal and hopefully I can get it today or tomorrow. I would like to see if I could recall it in 1 week so I get a look at it. And
Oh, just 1 second. So when is he gonna have his discovery?
Well, Your Honor, everything is uploaded to our e-discovery system, but I don't know if defense counsel just doesn't have access, so he's given us a flash drive. We gave that flash drive to the paralegal, and she was able to begin downloading it on Friday. There was so much on there that she had to leave it overnight, so I'm just waiting for her. to
All
see
right,
if it was finished or not.
so we should have an update today.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand, but the discovery is not uploaded. It's too large.
No, she just said.
Yeah, we can get it today and I'd like to look at it and then before I plea bargain.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, it needs to be given to him today.
If it's ready, Your Honor, I will give it to him. as soon as-
Some outstanding discovery, Your Honor. It's too large to put on the website, so I've got to bring my flash drive to get it. So I was going to drop that off tomorrow.
All right, Norma, I need a 1-month reset for discovery. Okay. All right, so it's gonna be done today.
So I could pick it up today and then.
Yes, you can pick it up today and you can pick it up today. What, do you want to call the paralegal and see what time?
I have. First, I have something. I just
Okay.
haven't received her.
All right, so it should be ready by 4.
Thank you.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson, I need a 1 week, 1 week, 1 week reset.
Any day.
Yeah,
February 3rd.
all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we'll be back on February 3rd. Do you have any questions? All right, we'll see you back on February 30th to make sure that your attorney has all of the discovery. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then counsel, if the discovery is not given to you by that time, the court will entertain whatever motions you have.
Thank you. I'll pull it anyway.
Andrew Garza. All right, he needs to come forward. All right, missing discovery, where are we?
I contacted the detective who coordinated this investigation and asked him to provide information that he references about the section of his investigation. The detective was out on vacation and did not have access to his file. He informed me that he returns today and that he will review his file and provide whatever information he has on his. So I am going to contact him and remind him to do that as quickly as possible. And as soon as I receive whatever he provides to me, I'm going to provide it to the defense counsel.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, recall this for February 3rd.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. You're welcome.
February 3rd.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2524 State versus Christopher Herrera.
Morning,
Can I have
Judge.
parties approach and announce for the record? Good morning.
Jones for the state.
Michael DeLeon for Mr. Herrera. Judge, we would ask for a court reporter to be available during this PSI.
Ah, she hasn't come back yet. All right, just have a seat. As soon as she's back, we'll do that. It's very good that we would have a court reporter.
I really shouldn't ask for it, but it's
No,
gonna happen anyways.
Oh, Michael.
So I've explained that to him. In the alternative, if the court feels like they don't want to do deferred adjudication, then we're gonna respectfully ask the court to grant a sentence of 3 to 4 years on this particular plea.
All right. So, Mr. Herrera, I want to let you know that I reviewed the PSI. I always review everything. And then even though even though I remember this case and I remember all the cases that come before me, I still will go back and review the stipulations in the PSI report. So I can only go off of what's in the stipulations in the PSI report, right?
Yes, sure.
Now, I see in the PSI report, it seems as though you're saying, and your attorney can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm assuming you don't want to testify. It seems that you're saying that there is some issue with the great grandmother. that she instigated this, that she can get the complainant to say whatever she wants her to say. But then I see that, but then the stipulations say something completely different.
Mhm.
So with regards to the stipulations, this doesn't appear to be a probation case for the court.
Mhm.
And I'm basing that upon page 3 of 5, and I'll show that to you. And it's the first paragraph.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. So the court is going to deny your application. The court will find you guilty of count 2. And counsel, you wanted to speak more towards the cap or no?
Yes, Judge. This is the cap of 8 case. If, as the court's denying his application for deferred, we're just gonna ask that the fact that he went ahead and took some responsibility in that he pled no contest, and took this offer. And, it stops the complaining from having to come testify. We'd like the court to take that into consideration along with the fact that he has no priors. How old are you?
I'm 39.
39 years old with no
Wow.
priors, Your Honor. So we're just asking for some type of reduction in the max offer here of the cap of 8.
All right. The court is going to find you guilty of count 2, give you credit for any time served, chapter 62 registration. There's to be no contact with the complainant, and the court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry, sir, remember when you release, you'll need to register. If you don't register, that's going to be another offense. You understand?
Understood.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on John Cowan Berry Jr.? The attorney for John Cowan Berry Jr.? Thank you. All right, is he on the docket today?
He is, Judge, but it was for status compliance on a pretrial violation.
Okay.
However, he did pick up a new offense, and then you guys reset it to February 25th, Your Honor.
Yes.
I want to see if we can keep that date, so I have some time to look into that new case.
All right. But I do need to make a ruling on the violation report.
Of course, yes, Your Honor.
And have you discussed the violation report with the state?
On that one, yes, Judge, I brought it to their attention. He picked up a new matter,
All right.
and then you had I suppose, did you already rule on it?
No, I
Not
haven't
yet.
ruled on it.
Okay.
All right, who's the prosecutor on John Berry? Court is calling 2024 CR 012861 State versus John Cowan Berry. Sir, you need to move over. John Cowan Berry Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Renee Munoz for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Berry?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we are here because there is a second and third violation report. The second violation report from pretrial services is that you have not made contact with them, and they've tried to make contact with you. The third violation report, you were rearrested on an offense, and that's 2025 PF 02617. That was probably with Judge Nahara. So with regards to the third violation report, any recommendations from either side? Do you want a bond increase? Do you want him to continue? He's in custody on the 2025 PF 02617 case, which is a theft case. And it's a third-degree felony theft case. And on this case, it's a theft case. And there's some issues where they say that he's been referred for Center for Healthcare Services.
We requested bond increase and just as conditions of bonds should the court given to him the special standing.
And Your Honor, if I may respond, in reference to the second violation report, I did go over that matter with my client regarding the reporting. He stated that he was seeing Center for Healthcare and reporting to a case manager, that they wanted to reschedule a certain meeting. And he showed up and they weren't there and they counted as a no-show. He has he had been checking in reference to the third violation report. Just remains silent as to that. We asked that he be continued on probation, be continued on pretrial bond with the same conditions, Your Honor.
All right, so why wasn't he reporting to pretrial services? Because in the second violation report, they called all the numbers they were given.
I was reporting, ma'am. It's just they were giving me a hard time. I had called and left messages and I was calling in. It's just I could never get a hold of my officer. And for me to never get a hold of my officer and for her to never check her messages, my mother even was even trying to get a hold of him. She could never even get a hold of her. But the thing is they're giving me a hard time. Like my first initial visit to go get medication, it was a month and a half for me to wait a month and a half before I could go to my appointment. So I ended up going to Laura Ridge. I went to Laura Ridge for 3 weeks. I got out, I had some medications, and then I went to my initial orientation visit. Well,
Just
after
one moment.
that,
Norma? Yes. Can you have pretrial services zoom in? We're gonna have pretrial services zoom in. Yes, just have a seat and we'll come back to you. All right, can I see the parties on John Berry? All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 012861, John Cowan Berry. If I gotta have parties, please re-announce for the record.
Renee Munoz or Mr. Berry.
And are you Mr. Berry?
yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is the update. The court reached out to the pretrial services officer and the supervisor, at least through the coordinator. The coordinator informs the court that neither are available. They're all out of the office. So based upon what your client has told me, even though he wasn't under oath, and based upon what has happened here today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rule on the motions and I'm going to continue with all previous conditions. We can go off the record. This is what you need to do. When you call, you need to document the date and time you call. And you need to always make sure that you leave a message. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
What I would always tell my clients, I would say, do you know what your trustworthy is with everybody? And they say, oh, it's not that great. I would tell them it's less than 0. You have to build up your trust, right? So in order for you to build up your trust, you have their information, you call them, you leave a message, you document it, you write it down. This is the time I called, I left a message. If they have an email address for you and you can email them and keep those records, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because otherwise, what I'm looking at is what you're charged with. It's a crime of moral turpitude. And then you have, on the one hand, pretrial officer saying you never report it. You're saying you report it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That is why I always like for pretrial services officer to zoom in. So hopefully everybody can get on the same page. Like maybe they don't have your contact information. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So counsel, how much time are you requesting?
In reference to this matter, Judge, standard 3-4 week resets to look into the new case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can call Mr. Berry in 30 days, please. And we can put it as a discovery. And if you're still in custody and your counsel wants you brought over sooner, you can be brought over sooner. All right, do you have any other questions? All right, we will see you then. You're welcome. Doris Dixon.
Also present on her matter, Your Honor.
All right, so we're here to consider early termination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And are they in agreement?
Their position is to leave it up to the court, Your Honor. They're I believe silent as to whether letting her off or not. I did speak and confer with probation as well, Judge. They're unopposed to her early term. She showed substantial compliance with conditions. She's completed all classes, community service hours, and she hasn't missed a reporting in 5 years to her probation officer.
And it appears that she's been on probation for 7 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and your deferred was for 8 years, and there have been no violation and no violations of contact orders.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, and medications and everything.
No medications right now,
Okay,
so no insurance, yeah.
well, is that through, has she been going through something?
When I was with Joanne Zerda, I had a doctor, but my insurance can pay for it, so I have to wait till they let me know how my insurance is. But right now, no drug use. I don't know why my UAs have been like, what they say?
Dilute, but you're, in terms of your mental health, you've been good
Oh, yeah.
currently as of the
Mhm.
last.
But
months
previously,
ish.
was she on medications?
In 2019, I was, but not now.
Well, no. When's the last time you were placed on medication?
Um, I would say from the beginning of 2019 till the end of 2019. I have my disc is slightly bent. I was hit by a drunk driver in 2018.
So well, I'm trying to focus on the mental health. So there have been no medications for mental health?
No, you're right. I don't believe
No.
she's been suffering with the mental health, more so with physical ailments and issues. She stated that she was rear-ended by a drunk driver before, and she had some disc issues. So the medication she's attesting to, I believe, was that. And usually I do get defendant or people charged that do have mental health issues, Judge, but this was a side matter. The court appointment separate from any mental health considerations. More so just her being on probation for extended period of time. I mean, under what was ordered by the court, Your Honor, but she has showed substantial compliance. So she's been coming to court, wanting to ask the court respectfully to see about an early term.
All right, and state, she's done everything there is to do on probation. She had an 8-year deferred adjudication. She's been on for 7 years, and you all are silent.
Judge, so it was my understanding at the time that she had some did
Mhm.
test recently and did not apply. I lived in treatment with,
All right, are you in agreement now? All right. Probation, do you agree with early termination? Okay. All right, well, congratulations. I'm glad you did everything. I hope you've learned a lot.
I have,
Don't want to see you back here unless you're just coming down to visit, okay?
yes, ma'am. I did want to ask you something, if I could see you, want to ask you about something you said. You said if you could do a movie on something.
Do a movie?
Yeah. You
What
said you-
movie?
Now, you was mentioning something earlier, but anyway, I write some stuff and I was wondering, I don't know, my daughters are in and she said that, I don't know, she did some work for you at the church. I wanted to ask you about that.
All right, what is your daughter's name?
Terry Dixon, but she's been married, Terry says.
Oh, I know her. Oh, and just so everyone knows, I know her, but Terry Dixon hasn't been into my house to have a meal. We haven't had lunch together, dinner together, so
Friend
I'm
of a friend.
completely objective, yes.
Yes, yes, of course.
No, well, congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Me too.
All right.
She'll be happy too. She's more my mother than my daughter.
Oh, okay, thank you. And they should be able to give you a copy of the early term.
Thank you, Your Honor. Greatly appreciate it. Maybe excused?
Yes. All right, Gonzalo Garcia. Hello, you can't be late for court, you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I was ready to join by the time.
You gotta be in court. If you're not in court, then you're late.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, it's sort of like the Deputy Lord, the legend of Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. And then his father's like, but no, you have second place, third place. But that's not the case for in court, okay? All right, so here's my question. Where are we on discovery?
Documents, indicating that some of the, alleged purchases were refunded to the complainants. I want to contact the complainants to verify that information, to ask them whether they are opposed to a pretrial diversion offer, given this person's relative lack of criminal history. I have already contacted the complainants via text message. I will speak with them by phone on Wednesday.
All right. Ms. Ferguson. Yes. Will y'all have information by next week?
I believe that I should.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can call this for either February 3rd or 4th, please.
The fourth.
All right, we'll come back on the 4th. Thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you excuse. All right, who is the interpreter for? Us.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Who's the-
Perez. And he does speak a little English, but Your Honor preferred we use an interpreter last time, so.
All right, Alan Mineros Perez. All right, so today is plea deadline date.
He says he's okay, Your Honor.
All right, so let's put this on the record though.
Yes, ma'am.
Court is calling 2021 CR 6862 State versus Alan J. Mineros Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Dante Dominguez for the defense.
All right, and are you Alan J. Mineros Perez? All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear to God.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Alan Mineros Perez.
All right, so there's an interpreter here because it was the court's understanding that you spoke Spanish as your primary language and that there are some terminology or things you didn't understand in English.
Right.
So are you telling the court that you do not want to have an interpreter present?
Yes.
All right, so you do not need an interpreter.
No, ma'am.
You're not going to be requesting an interpreter.
No.
Any questions from the state or the defense with regards to his needing or not needing an interpreter? No.
Nothing from the defense.
All right, thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you.
All right, so today is your plea deadline date.
And we have not been able to reach an agreement, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you'll need to plea open to the court. Do you understand? And state, I believe, I don't know if this is criminal trial division or not based upon the.
This is a family case, yes, Your Honor.
All right. I need a jury trial date on Alan Mineros Perez. It appears that it's criminal trial division, and based upon the offense, it'll probably be 2 to 3 days. I'm sorry, family violence. Thank you. Family violence, 2 to 3 days. All right, your jury trial date will be April 8th.
Got it, Your Honor.
And counsel, if you'll make sure that an acknowledgement of discovery has been filed, please.
Yes, ma'am.
They're going to bring you over dressed for trial in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to do a clothing exchange. Do you understand?
I understand.
Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know. All
Yes, ma'am.
right, thank you.
With that, may he be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.